Hi there, and welcome to Old Gems. We're going to be playing lots of different games from the 90s and the noughties era. We're going to bring here today Player Manager 99, which is one of my favourite games from my childhood. Basically, a football manager simulation. George Graham was at the front of the game, and gives you brief messages throughout the game about your progress and how you're doing. When you get a good result, his little speech bubble with him on there comes up and says that you're doing well or you're doing badly. But really enjoy those little features on here. But let's go and show you the menu. So we've got a friendly match, which is where you can put two different memory cards in and have two different teams game saved, and then they will play a friendly. So you can have your mate's memory card, your memory card, bang it in, bang the both of them in, and you can have a friendly and see whose team is better. Obviously, continue game. We haven't started the game yet, so we won't go there. And then we got new game. So we'll go to new game and start off a new one. So on this menu, we can select a country. You got Scotland, Italy, and England on multiple other versions. I think this was an Italian version, a Spanish version, a Portuguese version. So you can be all different leagues. I think when I did have a look at them on a previous emulator, I put a German one on, and the German one had, I think you can do Belgian league or whatever. But anyway, we'll continue with this one. We'll go to an English league. And while it's loading, it will give you a brief, written tutorial about what the buttons mean and what different buttons do. You can play this game with a mouse as well, which I think people did when you can get the PlayStation mouse back in the day. So the loading times are not too shabby on this. I think there's a lot of processing going on, but it's probably would be the same as a Championship Manager on the PC. It will process the data now that you put in so far. I don't know what it's processing. You haven't put anything in, but I'm imagining it's building the game for you to play. So, next menu, I think we should have our teams to pick. There we are. So, in 98, season 98-99, all the teams that were in there, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Blackburn, Charlton, Chelsea, Coventry, Derby, Everton, Leeds, Leicester, Liverpool, Man United, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield Wednesday, Southampton, Tottenham and West Ham, and of course the old Wimbledon, the crazy gang. It's obviously got all the divisions down to Division 3 in there. So obviously you get the choice of all your favourite teams from that period. Obviously, for the purpose of this video, I'm a United fan, but I will go for Leicester City. I always chose the mid-table to lower teams in these games. It's a lot more rewarding than being United, even though it is as hard because the way they don't make it easy for you, even if you have a hard team. Lots of games in this period, the science of the games are just mad. But on this level, so this is your managerial contract. You're in charge of contract renewals. You're taking control of the coaching and hiring of staff. Player manager, whether you are a player manager and you're going to play, or you're going to be just a manager, or you can do stadium development as well. So we'll just choose all of these now. We'll go forward. Processing time is not too bad, and obviously when the game actually starts up, it's just the start of it, but it gets a bit quicker as you go along. Up to 77, 80, 90, and then 100. So this is where you put in your name, your managerial name. So we'll go for Old Gem. Typing done. And it's creating a new game environment for us. So do a quick load up and it shouldn't be too long. absolute quality game. It takes an extreme amount of patience and and long when you're searching for the transfer market, as I'll show you when we go into the game. So here we are. Here's your whole management screen. I'll show you what all the teams start off with. So Arsenal, obviously the manager's Arsene Wenger. Obviously by alphabet they come first, so that's why they're at the top. 70 million budget to play with for your Arsenal. Aston Villa, John Gregory at the time, with you might as well say a 14 million budget. Blackburn Rovers, 10 million budget with Brian Kidd when he just left United to go there, but I think it was Roy Hodgson before. Charlton Athletic with Alan Kirbishley, their first promotion season, with about 9.7 million to spend. Gianluca Vialli at this time with Chelsea. Chelsea, one of the heavyweights, with about £17 million to spend. Coventry, obviously lower mid-table team, 10 million to spend. Derby County would be Jim Smith, 11 million. So you can see the tier really of how much money the teams have. Everton, 12 million. David O'Leary at Leeds. Leeds got 13 million. Leicester, my team, Old Gems, of 9.4 million. Liverpool, 16 million. Skipped United there. We'll go back to United, 21 million. Obviously, United, the richest and probably the best team at the time, even though Arsenal, you would expect them to actually be the richest team because United actually lost the title to them the year before. But anyway, we'll go on. Brian Robson at Middlesbrough, 11 million. Newcastle, 18 million, actually. So this is just after Kevin Keegan. And just after Kevin Keegan, yep. Ron Atkinson at Nottingham Forest, 11 million. Sheffield Wednesday, 9 million. Southampton, 6 million. So it shows how bad it was down there. George Graham at Tottenham, 14 million, 15 million quid. West Ham with 11 million and Wimbledon with 10. So it's pretty much as you would sort of see how the level financially it was. It's a good reflection upon the time. So we'll go to our squad. Leicester City, Old Gems. And so obviously green will be goalkeepers, blue defenders, yellow midfielders and red strikers. So as you can see at this time, I'm inundated with midfielders at Leicester City at this time. Old strikers like, Ian Marshall, Gary Fenton, Emil Heskey, Tony Cottee there, so that's the squad. And then you would go to squad stats. Here is a little engine where you can see every player in your squad stats and who's the best. So say you wanted to find out who your best passer statistically in your team is with attributes, you go here. Neil Lennon would be that, and then you've got Gary Parker and Steve Guppy. Anything over, this sort of range, 95 it's got quality. Shooters, Arnold and Lawson is the best statistical shooter in the team. Tackling, Matty Elliott and Steve Walsh. Heading, Matty Elliott and Gary Target. Control, Gary Parker. Pace, and so on and so on and so on. You'll see this in every single team. So we'll go ahead now and come out of this menu. Then we'll go to the top menus. So you can go to Manager's Office, which this will be the Manager's Office. You can view your squad, which I just did. Squad stats, which I showed you a minute ago. Tactical search. So I thought all this was brilliant at the time. So basically, when you're doing a formation, you can basically statistically look at who you would play together. So if you wanted a striker that has good shooting, so we'll go to about 94. Arnold Lawson comes up, and if you want a dribbler of about 74, 75, it keeps on giving you your best all-round players for the positions you want to play. So if you want to, Let's go back from leadership and go. We've got dribbling, shooting, and we'll go to pace about 75 as well. Well, that's dead ball. Sorry. Let's go to pace. So then it would tell me in my squad, Arnold Lawson, Andy Impey, and Steve Guppy and Tony Cottee will probably be the best options for me to play with those attributes on the wing. So I thought that was really, really cool addition to that game as well. Tactics designer we'll go to next. So here's the tactics board. So obviously Leicester playing a 4-4-2 at this point in time. Then you can add your what you want your players to do. So with your goalkeeper, you can press this, and the goalkeeper is set to play long balls over. So it's a 4-4-2 wing back formation. So the wing backs would obviously fly forward from these arrows here and feed the ball into the wingers. The other options are you could play sweeper, where you play a sweeper formation where you got one man sitting back and then the back three shielding him, and he's the last man to go on. Libero, pretty much the same thing, but then you play a more anchorish man defensive midfield place and allows the team to go further forward. Counter attacking, which is basically when you get the release ball, everybody on the attack. Diamond, withdrawn formation. Well, long balls, as it would seem, everyone pumping the ball forward. Tight tactic, it means everybody staying central and trying to not have the gaps get the goal, to attacking the goal. Withdrawn is basically playing out to the wings. Wide is basically the wing tactic, playing it as far out as possible to get the ball back into the centre. Defensive is basically, as it says, all out defence, and then you've got your all out attacking formation. With a team like Leicester, you're better off going counter attacking and playing that philosophy. So we'll go to the transfer market and we'll do an example of a transfer for you to see. So you got your maximum price over here, which can be set to anything. So usually the players are not really worth more than like their club valuations would be roughly no higher than 15 million. But when you come to do the negotiations, and you might see I'll do a demonstration, it might be a bit more pricey than that. So if you specifically want a goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, or forward, you can specify that. But we'll go for a max. We've got 9 million in the bank. We'll put the maximum price for a player, 10 million in there, and you can put it at 16 to 34 is fine, and you can specify over here which attributes you want. So basically, in my midfield, as I saw, I want another passer. So passing will be very important. So that's what I want. Go to the menu, and we will wait for it to load up the transfer market. This game takes real patience, but it is really, really, really a fun and rewarding game if you're inclined in this sort of way of playing Football Manager. And for me, it was ultimate. I just loved it, and I still love it. I think even when I stop this video, I'm going to continue playing on in this game. So here we are. So these are the people and football players that would have the specific attributes I asked for. So you've got strikers. So first of all, it always shows the European teams first, and it will do it in order of European of teams in Europe. So there will be, obviously here we've got Olympiacos. So the Greek teams would be here. So there'll be more usually if I did like a whole search for everybody. Fenerbahce. So you do the Turkish, Galatasaray, Swiss, Anderlecht there, Belgian, French with Marseille, Bordeaux, Dutch with Roda, and Ajax, Spanish, German, Italian, Scottish, and then you would go down to Premier League teams in order alphabetically coming down. So you go West Ham, Wimbledon, Tottenham, Sheffield Wednesday. And in England, because it's the league you chose to play, all of the players have either the clubs not selling them at all, which will be the blue, and then the white would be them being able to be transferred to you. So let's have a look at this. Steve McManaman, he's on about a wages of 12k a week, which is gettable for Leicester. Any if you got players like over, 18 to 20,000 pound, they're not going to join Leicester City. But we'll try and see if we can steal Steve McManaman from Liverpool. So Steve McManaman would be 100 passing, 91 shooting, pace would be 99 out of 100. What other attributes are there? Control 90, leadership. So this dribbling 93, absolutely fantastic winger. It says not for sale, but if it's light on the market, then it will be. So let's have a go. Steve McManaman has no interest in signing for Leicester City. So we move on. These are the Premiership players, but let's go. Premiership and the English players are pretty locked up tight, and you wouldn't really get any from the lower divisions who would have 100. So let's go back up to the European market. So at Leicester City, we're looking at players, and we probably have to go to climates such as. So let's go for Georgie Kinklatzy. Ajax, he's on about 10k. Fantastic, phenomenal stats. Will he come to Leicester? Not interested in Leicester. So as you can see, players from really, really hotter climates than, footballing climates than where you are going to be very, very hard to persuade to come to your club. So let's try someone from Dynamo Zagreb. Juricic. Phenomenal shooting and passing. Just what we're looking for. He's on about 14,000. Let's see if the climate changes. No, he's not interested either. So clearly at Leicester, we will need to look a bit more down upon what we're looking for. So we'll have to modify the search. And we'll go for players with the passing ability of around 75 to 77, going upwards. I'll load the market up one more time. Shouldn't take too long. Yes, 97, 98, 99, 100. Let's go. Yep, so here we go again. So now we should be able to get some players in. See, look, the wages prices have gone down to about 8k to 9k. I think these sort of players should be willing to come to us. So let's go down. Some more choice here. Hajduk Split, Volgograd, Kiev, all these sort of teams. So now let's go have a look at some players. So we'll go for let's keep on going down. Let's have a look at someone I would usually be able to get. So for Leicester City, let's have a look at Richard Nopper. So around a Leicester City quality. So if the top quality is 100 and you get an 87, 80 player, 90 composure, stamina, let's have a look at if he'll come. He's willing to join. So Ajax are demanding 4.5. I'll happily pay that for a player of that quality. 21 years old. 4.5 million bid accepted. Now, let's go back out of the player search. And then let's go to done. And then we'll do a week until match day. So this is where it goes on. So we're going to pause it until it comes on to the transfer. So this is what you basically see when you're loading up now. It will take a while. It will be managers in the divisions busy with their daily tasks. After the first day, we actually have some action. So Neil Lennon is wanted by Nottingham Forest. So our valuation of him is 3 million quid. They want to pay 2.7. Neil Lennon is absolutely crucial to us. So I don't think we'll be selling him. We'll reject that bid. Yep, so that's interrupted us in one day. So we'll go back again and do a week to get the player in. So now we've seen the days going by. I'll pause it and then I'll come back to when we actually have him doing the contract negotiation with us. So, yeah, during the week we've had our 24-year-old goalkeeper Peggy Arfexad been playing well in training according to our coach. So that's always a good sign. On the 6th day, Thursday, Friday, bids usually either come within 2 to 3 days or, as you can see, a week here. I think we should be negotiating with Richard Nupper. No, we're not. We're not. I think it should be tomorrow then. Some of the first games are coming through now. It says processing results. This will be the lower leagues because the Premier League would usually start on the 15th on this game. So on this menu, you would see all the divisions below playing the first game of their season. Division 1, 2 and 3. Then you'd have FA Cup results, League Cup, Auto Windshield, UEFA Cup, Winners' Cup, Champions League, internationals and friendlies. The friendlies will be at the end of the year or in pre-season, and internationals will definitely be at the end of the year. So let's hope our negotiation for Richard Nopper at Ajax is going to come through to Leicester. It'll be a big signing for us. And I think it's going to come. Here he is now. So here we go. We've got his nationality, name, position, contract length left at his old club. Now, he's on 8,003. We are got a wage budget for him, maximum of 15,354. So I reckon if we give him about 12 grand, 12,500 quid a week, and we give him a relegation release clause, and we give him a 5-year contract with us, and he accepts it. So Richard Nupper will now be playing at Leicester City. That puts us down to 5 million quid. Let's have a look at what other dealings have been happening, past transfers. So there's been some activity. Middlesbrough has spent £4.9 million on Wormola from Malmo in Sweden. And Richard Nopper has come to us. Leeds have invested in Michalski for 3.3 million. Simon Grayson has moved to Derby County from Aston Villa. Piermans has moved to Everton from Anderlecht. So there is a lot of movement in the transfer market on this game, which I do like. Some of your targets will go to other clubs. Clubs are quite ruthless. So now Richard Nopper's in there. I now have my set piece taker, and he can basically accompany Neil Lennon, Gary Parker, and obviously I'll show you the stats that we got as a player manager at Old Gems. Not bad. Made 36 England caps, 33 goals. This is actually one of the better stats I've seen us get at 30. So, yep, here we go. Back out again. And we are now going to skip until match day on the 15th. So, and then I will show you the match menu and then we'll close down the video. So I've gone a little further into the game and Andy Impey has been the subject of a bid from Marseille for 3.2 million. Because we just spent that money on Richard Nopper, I'm more than happy to let Andy Impey go. So we'll accept that bid and it will continue there. So here we are, we're at the 10th day of the month. We're going to go back to our squad and have a look at it. So we'll make our first 11. So like now, before we saw that number 4 is a midfield position. So we're going to put Arne Larsson in there. Richard Nopper will come in their squad in place of Old Gems. Gary Park will stay in there with Lennon. Fenton will get swapped over for Ian Marshall, who's on the transfer list, which is what the TX means, which we will sort out in due course. Robbie Savage is meant to be a left midfielder. Lil Lennon is in left midfield currently. Right midfield, sorry, currently. So we'll have to we'll have to leave him there really. Actually, because he had the best passing ability in the team. Now we'll go to do a week to match day and I will pause it again until we get to the match day. Hello, yeah, so we reached now to the 15th, which is going to be our first match against Leeds. We go to our squad again. Now I'm pretty confident. During that, actually, which you didn't see because I paused it, Steve McMahon and not the actual Steve McMahon, but Leicester City midfielder at that time. And Muzzy Izzet had some good training, good in training this week. So they've been recommended to the team, but I'm quite happy with what I've selected. If we go to squad stats now, we're going to set our players what they're going to be doing. So our captain, if we go now to our data, skills and attributes, stats 2, and pick leader. Steve Guppy is the captain material for this team, so we'll give him the captaincy. And dead ball taker. Gary Parker's the best in the squad, so we'll put him on corner duty and on free kicks as well. And composure, we'll go back to stats 1. Composure at penalties. Richard Nopper will be number 1 on that. So we'll go back here. And we'll play the first match. So there's no captain when I just pick one. But Steve Guppy is probably not in the squad, which is why. Should have probably known that. Being the manager and all that. So Steve Guppy's on the bench. So the next best would be Ian Marshall. So he's starting, so he'll be our captain for today. It won't let you go into the match without a captain. So here we go. We go to done. Go to game. Now there is 3 different modes of match. So here we have, I love this thing where you can see when the couple of games have been finished, you can see the top scorer, the players on both teams are in current form and their top players and their top goal scorers here. You can see the amount of points they've got away from home form with the team home and away. Just gives you the option for commentary, scanner, and watch. Now, watching the game takes a while, and I kind of got a bit funny about it. I kind of feel that your team loses a lot when you watch it or scan it, so I always go to commentary, and let's hope for a win for Leeds today, for Leicester City today. So it's just the commentary at the top, and then you see the balance going up, back and forth there, and the games actually go pretty fast. Lands at the feet. That's about uses the space, dummies the keeper, and Leeds go 1-0 up at Leicester. Unfortunate for my lads. Leeds look on their job today. And Leeds have absolutely dominated us today. Nothing, no shots on target, nothing there. So we're on counter attack. We're going to change it now to wingers. And hopefully try to get back into this game. Let's do it. Second half. Bit more responsive this half. Richard Nupper goes forward, uses the space, turns and shoots, and my new signing gets the equaliser because we played wingers. Kewell has the ball now to Kelly. Free kick to Leeds on the edge of the box. Alfinger Haaland's going to hit it. He goes around the wall, whistles past the post. Lawson hits it. Advantage play to Robertson, hacks it away. Nopper avoids the challenge, shoots from distance. Effort goes wide. Oh! The 80th minute here, Wynyard gets shown a yellow card. Gary Parker will take the free kick for Leicester. Sinclair. Not a penalty. And Haaland scores a 25-yarder for Leeds to end the hopes of Leicester winning the game. And the referee blows up for full time. So yes, as with the full time of the game, we'll come to the full time of my brief little snippet of coverage of the game. Cracking game, back in the old school. Absolutely loved it. I'll probably continue this game now and build this team, and maybe come back to you guys and show you what I've done with it after a year or so in the game. But thanks for watching. It's gonna be doing loads more of these. I hope it's enjoyed. I don't know. I'm just doing it because got the time and quite passionate about these old school games. So yeah, give us a subscribe or and we'll get more content out of you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.